Vigor is an Xbox One exclusive title that is now free to play for anyone with an Xbox Live Gold account. It's a game that takes the nerve-wracking moments from survival games like DayZ and Rust and packs them into short, instance-based encounters. As you may already know, Vigor began as a game preview title on Xbox One back in July of 2018, and it's seen some massive improvements since the game's initial release. Now with the game going into its full release status and becoming free to play, the future is looking very bright for Vigor. But what type of game is it? Let's give a quick rundown of what you can expect from this third-person survival shooter. As an outlander in post-war Norway, you find yourself stranded and alone. You'll need to improve and build up your rundown shelter by venturing out into the wild to look for supplies. You'll bring these supplies back to your shelter to build facilities, craft weapons and items, practice at your very own shooting range, and improve your home. Vigor is not a battle royale, as the goal of the game is not necessarily to get into combat and rack up kills. Instead, you'll want to survive and scavenge long enough in each encounter to improve your home base and make life easier on yourself before you go out again. You can go into an encounter and avoid everyone. There's no shame in getting in and getting out with whatever loot you can find. You can also go in locked and loaded looking for trouble. And if it's trouble you want, there's multiple ways to find it. But be careful, if you die in an encounter, you lose everything that you brought into the encounter and all the loot that you've collected up to the point of your death. This is what makes Vigor a unique experience. Now before I get into it, I wanted to mention something pretty special. Since I'm a Vigor partner, Bohemia Interactive has put my logo in the game, and you can actually apply this logo to your character's bag. The first 5,000 people to claim it can have my logo in the game. It'll be super exciting for me to see something that I created in a video game. Honestly, it's something that I never thought would happen in a million years, so I'm really excited about this one. Even if I'm the only one showing off my logo in the game, it'll be pretty neat to see. But like I said, if you're interested in something like that, definitely check out the link in the description or in the first comment below. Now the way that Vigor works is 8 to 12 players will embark on a variety of map-based encounters to scavenge for supplies, gather resources, and attempt to survive. There are 6 maps at launch and each has unique settings, weather, shapes, and sizes. You can go into an encounter on your own in solo mode, you can queue up with a friend that you know and play some duos, or you can matchmake and get a random duo partner. But like I said before, if you want to find combat, there are a number of ways to do so. Look towards the points of interest on each map and visit them to look for other players. Not only that, but there are a number of different events in each encounter. These events provide you with greater loot, but with greater reward comes greater risk. There's an airdrop that comes down about 8 minutes into each encounter, which contains a crate that you can unlock at your shelter. These crates contain weapons, materials, cosmetic items, weapon parts, and weapon plans. They are the best way to get high-end items, that's for sure, but remember, great reward equals great risk. There's also a barred house with a safe to crack inside, and the safe offers much better loot than your average container, but it takes a while to open. Once you begin the process of opening the safe, all other players are notified that the safe is being opened. 2 other hotspots on the map will allow you to modify the location of the airdrop, and it will provide you with the exact location of where the airdrop is going to land, while other players will be giving a more general zone. And there's also a tower that allows you to see the location of the remaining players in the encounter, but this only lasts for a brief time. In my opinion, one of the things that makes Vigor so nerve-wracking is the fact that you never know how many players are still in the encounter. Everyone could have died and left the map, and you could be all alone. But really, the only way to find out is to use the signal detector to check for remaining outlanders. The moment-to-moment unpredictability will keep you on your toes, questioning every sound that you hear, even if it's your own footsteps. But that being said, you can leave the encounter at any time at one of the many exit points on the map, and these are represented by the orange markers that you see. This allows you to escape the map successfully with everything that you've gathered so far. At a certain point in the map, radiation starts pouring in, and so everyone has to leave or they'll die to the radiation cloud that's taking over. And if you get caught in it, it's really distorted, you can't see or hear very much at all, and it starts damaging you, so you have to get out as soon as that starts hitting you, otherwise you might find yourself in a bad situation. But like I said before, there are multiple ways to play the game, and there's really no wrong way. You can try and avoid everyone that you see and loot the outskirts of the map, or you can get into the hot areas for potential of greater rewards. It's really up to you and how you want to play. Once you're back at your base, you'll be able to craft weapons, ammo, and consumables, or you can upgrade the many facilities of your shelter. Some of these facilities simply make crafting faster or less expensive, while others provide you with crafting materials or even the in-game currency, crowns. After you've reached a certain shelter level, you'll be able to craft the many different weapons in the game. You can craft the weapons if you have enough weapon parts, or you can unlock a plan in the crate. Once you have a plan, you'll be able to craft weapons using your materials that your base generates for you. And there's no limit to how many you can craft, you just have to have the materials to do so. so you can see how important finding loot and encounters will be. Without finding the important crafting materials like nails, wires, metal parts, fertilizer, chemicals, and so on, you won't be able to upgrade your shelter, and without upgrading your shelter, you'll be unable to craft new weapons, ammo, and consumables. After every shelter level, your base will upgrade cosmetically as well. It repairs the roof, interior walls, windows, and doors. As you play the game, you'll be sure to see your upgrades paying off, and pretty soon you'll have a nice little place to call home in post-war Norway. Another great feature of your shelter is the shooting range. In the shooting range, you can try the various shooting challenges where you have to take down a certain amount of targets in a designated amount of time. If you don't want to try for the shooting range medals, however, you can always try out your weapons at your leisure. The scarecrows in the range have the same amount of health as an enemy outlander, so you can test out your weapons, really get a feel for how many shots you're going to have to put into somebody before they die, and overall the shooting range is good for trying to master the recoil in the game. Before, I mentioned that there was an in-game currency in Vigor called crowns. Crowns can be spent on a couple things, either on cosmetic items that are available in the store or before each encounter with boosts. Every cosmetic item in the game can be found in a crate, so if you don't feel like spending real-world money for cosmetics, you can go for the airdrops and try and get them that way. But like I said, there is a store and they rotate the inventory every day, so you'll be able to see any cosmetic items that you may want to purchase. Before an encounter starts, you can actually purchase boosts. There are 3 types of boosts in the game. There's a boost to give your encounter a greater percentage of loot, a boost to upgrade the airdrop, and a boost to buy insurance for yourself. The loot and airdrop upgrade boosts apply to everyone in the match. So if a few people decide to upgrade the loot in your encounter, you'll also see that extra loot even if you didn't spend anything for yourself. The only boost that can be bought that will apply to you individually is the insurance. Insurance will allow you to keep everything on your person if you die in an encounter. Whether it's a weapon, a load of crafting materials, or ammo, everything will be saved upon death. The only thing that is not insured is the airdrop. If you loot the drop and get the crate, but die before escaping, you'll lose it no matter what. Beware though, the prices of the crowns are not cheap at the moment. At the time I'm making this video, 155 crowns equals $5 US. So buying insurance for one encounter is roughly $2. To me, that's not worth it. I'll save up my crowns to buy something special, a cosmetic item that I just have to have or something like that. But I have seen quite a few people spending the crowns pretty freely in the encounters, and I just sit back, spend nothing, and reap the rewards. Now I could go into much greater detail about the game, the ins and outs of the crafting system, where to find the best loot, where to find certain materials, a deeper dive into the weapons and healing system, but this video would be way too long. But that pretty much sums up what you can expect if you decide to give Vigor a try for yourself. It's definitely a change of pace compared to games like PUBG and other shooters. It's more of a looter than a shooter, I would say, but it does have similar levels of intensity. Walking around carrying a full bag of loot and weapons is terrifying. Never knowing who could be waiting for you around the corner or just down the road keeps you on edge the whole time you're in an encounter. A lot of improvements have been made since Vigor was brought to Xbox One Game Preview last year, and work will continue to improve the game going forward. It's not a perfect game by any means, but it does offer a very unique experience in my opinion, especially on console. I've heard it compared as the third-person version of Escape from Tarkov, but that's not on Xbox, so if you want that similar type of experience, then Vigor might be the game for you. But either way, like I said, the game just went to full release and it is now free to play for anybody with an Xbox Live Gold account. So there's no harm in going out there giving it a try. If it looks interesting to you at all, download Vigor and see if it's your type of game. Remember to check out the link in the description or in the first comment below if you want to get my logo on your bag for your Outlander. The first 5,000 people to do so, I really don't expect 5,000 people to actually do it, but hey, who knows? I know for certain there will be one person out there in the Outlands with the Boris 15 logo on their bag, and that is me. I'm going to do it, so 4,999 extra ones will be available for anyone that wants it. Click that link in the description. Make sure to like the video if you found it useful and subscribe to stay up to date on everything that I publish. Follow me on Twitter at YTBoris15. I should have a number of things to give away for Vigor, and most of those giveaways will be done on Twitter, so make sure to follow me if you have a Twitter account if you want in on those giveaways. I'll be making some more Vigor content in the coming weeks, going over some tips and tricks for beginners and other useful guides, so stay tuned for that. But with all that being said, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Until next time, I'll see you later.